Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Create Let's Play. There have been some major changes since the very first episode, so let's go ahead and go through them. To start off, as you probably can see, I'm running at a new FOV now. It's a lot closer. I believe this is 90, because I put out a poll asking if you preferred like normal FOV or like the Quake FOV, because I'm used to playing first-person shooters. If you play first-person shooters, you know just like high FOV is just kind of like the way to go, in most games at least. So I'm used to a high FOV, but I know a lot of people play Minecraft and are not used to it. So put it at 90, because I think that was probably the biggest recommendation I had. And I think this is a good medium for me. So me as playing as the game, it's not too weird, but also you guys get to kind of watch something that you're more used to as well. And then we've also added a couple new mods, basically to our game. Now, these mods are not game breaking. They're little tweaks that I'm going to change in between the series. So if you have any other mod ideas, you can go ahead and just leave them down in the comments and they'll probably get added into the next episode. But the very first one is probably the coolest one that we've added is paragliders. And this allows me to make a paraglider with sticks and leather. Might happen in this episode or another episode. And I thought that that'd be really cool to be able to paraglide off of our mountainscape and kind of down into the forest and stuff like that. It should be pretty sweet. We also have Jade add-ons, which is a way to link create with Jade. Jade being, of course, the mod that when I look at things, it explains what it is. So just some extra information. Then there's a mod that's called the torch slabs mods. Allows me to put torches on slabs. Pretty cool considering literally my entire floor is slabs currently. Then there's also Snow Real Magic Maybe. That's literally the name of the mod. It's not a magic mod. All it is it kind of tweaks some things when like snow happens. So like snow can accumulate inside of fence posts and things like that. It's not a magic mod. It's just little tweaks to snow. Definitely works out considering I'm in a snow biome. And then of course you saw we now do time lapses, which is pretty cool. So the time lapse that you guys got to see is over here of me kind of beginning my construction of this sidewalk over here. Now, I will say that between that time lapse and now, some footage kind of got corrupted, but I will walk through it now, just showing you guys what I did. Nothing major, and the rest of this episode and future episodes should have proper time lapses. But you can see we now have a little pathway that leads into more of the woodland forest style mountainside. I don't know. I guess that's what we'll call it. And the idea that I have over here is that we're going to have these little platforms that are going to be farms. Now, this looks like I've done a lot of work. I really have not, and I'll show you that this is my idea. So you step out, and you got a little bit of a farm. It's not automated. It's very basic, but enough for me to have a little bit of a food source starting off, because I've just been robbing villages lately. So that's the idea, is that you can see like we have a little wheat farm, and then if we go down here, we will have another farm that's a little bit lower, and then there's a third farm that's over here. And I'll probably go ahead and cut to a little bit of a time lapse of me kind of finishing up these farms. Honestly, I kind of like this. Granted, the sun rays are killing me right now, but I kind of like the little platforms. You could kind of see that right where my cursor is. I've done little slabs underneath to kind of cover the dirt, to kind of make it look more like it's kind of attached to the wall. But I kind of like these little beds of plants. It's kind of really nice, and I like on how we're still traversing along the side. Definitely need some support system, though, to show that this is connected to the walls or something like that. So definitely let me know in the comments, because I am still just working with spruce wood, but soon enough, we'll have plenty of materials to go ahead and work through all this stuff. So I believe that our next step in the right direction would maybe be to work on like a Tinker's Construct room, because we have our storage room, of course, right here, which is very basic. And of course, I know that in Create now, in the newest version, there it is, item vaults, which I've gone over in a video. I'll link that basically up in the sky, the top right-hand corner. But item vaults will work based on filters. That'll be something probably used in the future for like huge stockpiles of things. And you can technically build an entire inventory system somewhat out of it. But I don't really want to dive into that just yet. Granted, it's just iron and barrels, so semi-simple to go ahead and make. But that'll be something in the future, and I'm just using these drawers for now. But I think we should dive into Tinker's Construct, because I've just been using basic vanilla tools right now, which there definitely is much better things we could use. And you can see a Tinker's Construct. We have a bunch of different tools and stuff that we can go ahead and dive into. And I think that'll be worth it, especially for all of the mining and stuff like that I'll be doing. Perfect. Made a little bit of a Tinker's Construct style crafting room, and this is right against our storage room, so kind of ease of access, and then our kind of like bedroom style cave is over there as well. So I made a little bit of a fireplace. Granted, there's really no practical use to this at the moment, and I've just put a little campfire in there instead of like netherrack with a flint steel, because we haven't made a nether portal yet. A little chest, crafting table, little barrel. Granted, a lot of those things are kind of replaced with the things we'll make in Tinker's Construct, but I still figured we'd make it a little bit like a crafting room. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and just start making all the basic machines for Tinker's Construct. And there we go. Probably not going to do a time lapse considering this was about 15 seconds, but I made a part builder. We've got it so we can actually go ahead and make our stencils. Stencils? I'm forgetting what they're called. We have our patterns, but we can use cobblestone to make the parts, essentially. This is inside our part builder. We also have our Tinker Station. You can also use the tabs, of course, to go across. Tinker Station will allow us to use the parts to then craft our tools, which is really cool. And we're probably going to go ahead and make like the pickaxe, the sword, stuff like that for easy repairs. And then we actually have a Tinker's chest. I made a parts chest. This is an upgraded version. It just uses lapis, but we went mining in the last episode, so I just immediately made an upgraded version and just stuck the extra one here instead of the barrel. So real quick, I'm going to make a bunch of tools, and then we'll go on to our next adventure. All right, honestly, I just made a stone pickaxe. Totally forgot that we don't have like a foundry or smeltery up at all currently. So our next goal is to either progress towards that, or there's a set of armor in here that I just never have made in my life, and I figured we should probably just take the time to make it. Basically, it's a very basic piece of armor that's made of like glass, copper, and leather, and then you have the ability to actually upgrade it in the future with abilities and things like that. So I figured what we should start out doing is actually start making some type of farm for like animals, so that if we ever need leather and things like that, we can actually go ahead and get it. Perfect. So I have cleared kind of a little area in this forest, and to give you a perspective, our base is kind of all the way up there. You can kind of see through the trees. There's a little kind of rock wall mountainside. That's where our base is. So quite the distance down below, but I didn't really want to like have our animals at the top of the mountain. I kind of want to eventually have this be our own village and stuff like that. And this nice natural waterfall that's coming down here will maybe be an area where we have like water wheels and stuff like that, because there was a comment that I read in on I think the very first episode. This is episode 2, duh. Talking about that I should probably try to make it so create machines work like naturally. Like I'm not just doing it for functionality, but I'm like water wheels only are put into like rivers and things like that to make it look nice. And I am completely on board with that. I was actually kind of thinking of that for the first episode, but I just totally didn't mention that. But because of that, I figured that it would be really cool to have a little bit of an animal farm going on over in this area. I'm going to try to do something a little bit more than just literally just put down fence posts. And we'll try to gather some animals like chickens, pigs, cows, sheep, things like that. Anything to just kind of put into this area. So if we need them in the future, we have them to basically use whatever we need to do. But to begin, let's go ahead and make some pens. All right, this is my first stab at the chicken coop. And yes, totally didn't finish the back wall. Forgot about that part. But the idea is that this is a little area outside that they could hang out outside. Maybe I'll add some water and stuff like that in the future. And then this is the coop that they sleep in at night to keep them all safe and stuff like that. But I might have bamboozled myself with these little logs because they might be able to just hop right out. So we might be replacing that. I was trying to do some type of like fence post. I mean, I guess technically these guys are fence posts, but maybe you know what I mean by that. But overall, I think this doesn't look bad, considering literally all of this is spruce wood minus the lanterns. So I'm actually kind of proud of this. So I'm going to go ahead and work on kind of like a cow pen, maybe a pig pen, maybe a sheep pen, and then we'll go ahead and continue on. All right, so totally lied. I said I was gonna make a cow farm, ended up making a pig farm because I thought it fit a little bit better in this area. Uh, Kind of crappy at the moment, and that's mostly because I don't have certain things to make things look better so far. Like I wanted to get a silk touch like pickaxe to get grass to place grass onto these little green blocks. If you're wondering on how I made grass grow over here, I spent some time building with regular dirt, let it turn to grass until I could destroy it. Probably gonna cut all that out of cinematics because that took some time, to say the least. I also wanted to use like brown terracotta or like brown clay powder or something like that. But I don't have brown dye, and I've not found a jungle to my idea. I don't think I found a jungle, so I haven't found cocoa beans or anything like that to make brown dye. But we'll be doing some upgrades in the future. Granted, this is only episode 2, so we haven't made too much progress. But we got a pretty good looking chicken coop. We got a pretty good looking pigsty, I think that's what it's called. Or pig pen, and we're definitely going to make a cow one, and then we'll probably hold off on the sheep one until I need a lot of sheep stuff. All right. Not my proudest work that I've done for like a cow stable. But I just kind of wanted to mess with my own ideas, and it probably doesn't look the greatest. So feel free to go ahead and leave some comments down below. But for the materials that I had, honestly, I'm kind of proud of it. I honestly think this doesn't look too bad. And either way, it's just meant to hold cows for now, and we can improve on it in the future. So we now have our cow stable, which is our original idea of why we started this whole entire craziness. We have a chicken coop, I think that's what it's called. And we have a pigsty, or pig stable, or pig something. We hold pigs here. So the last thing that we need to do is we need to get animals into here. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, we have animals again. And hopefully we don't have any more escapees, because I actually recorded this segment and witnessed all of the cows walk out via the hay bales in this corner. So that's been fixed now, theoretically. I don't think they can escape. Let's see. I don't think so. I don't think, even though this looks like they should be able to walk over the edge, it doesn't seem like they can pull it off. So I'll take that. I think we're actually good. So we officially have our cow pen set up. We have our chicken coop set up. We even got some that are hanging out inside there. I might need to put like a lantern or something in there because it's a little dark. And then over here, we have all of our pigs and stuff. We even got one in the water. Man, this looks like I planned this. But what we really need to do now is we don't really care too much for the chickens or the pigs. But the cows, we want to go ahead and breed via our wheat, just so that we can go ahead and, one, get XP, of course, and also the achievement. But also we can use the leather to go ahead and finally craft our paraglider and all of our traveler's armor. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fast forward me breeding a bunch of animals and things like that. All right, we have returned back to our hidey hole in the mountain. We should be able to make all of our items now because we got all of our leather. So we got our paraglider, we can get our traveler's boots, our traveler's pants, traveler's vest, and then finally our traveler's goggles, just like so. Oh, this is really cool. I don't know what mod this is. This might even just be Tinker's Construct, but it says the durability as you look at it, which is pretty cool. All right, it has been a long couple of days. I have run into a lot of world problems at this point because apparently if you run Optifine and you run Tinker's Construct and you try to put this armor on, it corrupts your world file. So it's been a couple minutes, to say the least. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this armor inside of this chest. If we need to mess with it with Tinker's Construct, I'll probably shut the shaders off for a brief moment just for the upgrading the armor, things like that. But for now, we could definitely use the paraglider. So we're going to go ahead and test it out. Hopefully not kill myself by jumping off the side of the mountain and hopefully making it down to our farm that is theoretically down in those bushes. All right, we have made it to the top of the mountain. It is time for us to go ahead and try out this paraglider. Now, I can't equip it, so I'm hoping that I just hold it out in my hand and it should work. If not, this is going to be a very short ending to this episode. But our goal is to go ahead and land onto like our cow farm down there. And I figure, without further ado, let's jump off a cliff. Look at that. It works. This is so cool. And then I do know that that green... Let's see. That green circle is like our stamina. Once it hits 0, it will literally drop us out of the sky. But you can kind of drop yourself like so. So we'll land ourselves in this water really quick to kind of replenish that stamina and then use it again. So this isn't like creative flight, but we can kind of go in little sprints to make it down. And maybe we'll make some type of landing zone down here eventually for our animals, or for us to land near our animals. But there you go. That was probably a pretty short episode, if I had to guess, from this recording. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. If you have any other mods you want to add, any other changes you think I should make for the videos or editing or anything like that, also let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.